Hello, my name is Dyer and this is my video task for the Assistant EP program. So firstly, how would I describe equality, diversity and inclusion? I'd say equality is ultimately about equal opportunities and preventing discrimination against groups with protected characteristics such as disability. However, in an educational context, I'd say it's a lot more about equity and reducing the barriers to education as a whole. I would say diversity is about recognising, accepting, valuing and celebrating all students despite their backgrounds, abilities and so forth, making sure they feel seen, celebrated and like they belong in their community. Inclusion brings the two words together in a sense that anyone from any background or ability should feel supported, included and that their needs are met within their education community. So what do EPs do to support EDI? I'd say they remove barriers to education by fostering a shared understanding between various professionals and the child and ensuring that all aspects of their life are actually explored. In fact, all the factors that could influence them in school could be explored. Like through that systemic view that EPs use, we look at all factors. And I think that's quite important in the educational context because sometimes those things can be overlooked. And they can also help teachers differentiate between behaviour and actual needs and maybe what the difference can look like. And that can prevent mislabeling, misunderstanding, children feeling misunderstood and potentially receiving sanctions or negative reinforcement for something that was actually a need. I think that's really important. EPs also provide guidance and intervention support, providing teachers with strategies, different teaching strategies and support staff with different intervention strategies that could work for the individual child, tailored to the child, which again is highly beneficial because one size does not fit all. They also work from like theory and frameworks such as the base model of inclusion, so ensuring that they can share that knowledge in a sense that teachers could be aware that actually there are a lot of factors that could influence a child's inclusion and access to education. So again, using these frameworks and theories really helps professionals understand. EPs also take a compassionate approach, whereas schools often, the numbers, there's so many students and sometimes it can be a one size fits all, and I think EPs can influence that compassionate, holistic, individualized approach to students. EPs also influence policy and national interventions, so on a wider scale influencing the systemic change and support for children and young people. So to conclude, EP supports students and schools on an individualistic level, including through their EHCPs and ISPs. They also work through sharing that shared understanding, making sure that others working with the child understand the child. And lastly, their wider influence on policy and intervention for systemic change. So to conclude, I'm really passionate about making sure no child is left behind or feels misunderstood. And during my time as a deputy head of year, I worked really hard with my SEN and social emotional mental health students to build that rapport, and I would like to say I'm really proud of the relationships I've built there, but I would like to now use those skills as well as like psychological practice, frameworks, and actually have a solid impact on them systemically in the future. So thank you.